We've all been kids before and we've all wondered what the biggest hole we could possibly dig was, so that's what we're gonna find out in what's the deepest hole we can possibly dig, so let's go.
So at some point in their lives, nearly everybody has wanted to dig
Yeah,
a hole down
that's
to the
what I
center
just
of
said.
the Earth. The only problem
It'd be so
is
cool.
nobody ever has actually dug a hole down that
Yeah,
far.
because
This leads
I'm
us to the
assuming
question
like
that this
a
video
lot
is
of
all
factors
about.
like
If
heat,
humanity decided
pressure,
that digging a hole
a bunch
was
of
the
other
number
stuff
one
that
objective
could
of our species,
hinder us
then
from
how
digging
deep
a
down
hole?
could we actually dig with modern
Yeah.
day technology? Let's say
How
that we start somewhere on the
deep
Earth's
could it be?
surface and just start digging from there.
Okay.
Not too far down at 1.8
1.8
meters, and we
meters,
arrive at the
okay.
standard grave depth in Western
That's
culture. So if you're
usual
afraid of zombies,
what
this
they
is how
get
far
deep,
down they'll be coming
buried
from.
at.
4 meters down, and we arrive at the depth
Oh,
that Pharaoh Tutankhamun's
so
tomb was
they
discovered
were-
at. A little further at 6
They
meters below
were,
the surface,
they were buried way deeper than what we normally get buried at.
we reach the maximum depth that metal detectors can pick up
Oh.
signals from. At
So
12
metal
meters,
detectors
we
can
find
only
the
reach
deepest
6
burrows
meters.
dug by animals, the Nile
Crocodile
crocodile.
burrows.
A little
Oh.
further down at 20 meters, and we arrive at the depth of the
What is
Paris
this?
catacombs
Paris
beneath the
catacombs.
city of Paris, a tomb that holds the remains of over 6 million people.
6
Double that
million
distance to
people.
40 meters down, and we can see the deepest swimming pool in the world. If you
That's the
drained
deepest
this pool
swimming
and
pool.
jumped into it from the top, it would take nearly 3 seconds before you would hit the bottom. 100 meters
3
down
seconds!
is the
It would take us 3 seconds to reach the bottom of that. Wait, is that what he
take
said?
nearly
3 seconds to fall 40 meters, like, if there was no water or anything. What? That sounds crazy. And like, most swimming pools are like 1 or 2 meters deep, not 40 meters. Oh my god, how much water is in that?
seconds before you would hit the bottom. 100 meters down is the usual distance that governments bury their nuclear waste at.
Oh.
And just beneath that,
Okay,
at
that's definitely not
105.5 meters
concerning.
down, is the deepest metro station in the world, located in
Wow.
Kiev. Moving
Yeah.
on to 122 meters down, and we see the
122.
deepest known point that a plant's roots have ever reached, a
Oh.
fig tree in South Africa. 220 meters down, and we arrive at the deepest river in the world, the Congo River
Congo
in
River.
Africa.
So the deepest river in the world is 220 meters deep. For some reason I thought that'd be bigger, like it'd be a lot deeper, but I'm not sure.
Beyond that,
guess
at
we're just following
240
this.
meters, you can ride through the deepest
Deepest
railway
train
tunnel in
tunnel.
the world that connects the Japanese
Oh.
islands of Honshu and Hokkaido. But at 287 meters down, you can drive through the deepest road tunnel in the world in Norway.
Norway!
305
Almost 300 meters deep underground. I feel like I'd be so scared being 300 meters deep down.
meters down, and you would still be vulnerable to the B-82
Oh.
Earth-penetrating nuclear warhead, which can destroy structures up to this depth beneath the surface. Incredibly, though, at 392 meters, we arrive at the deepest well
392?
and possibly deepest
Deepest
hole
well,
ever
hole.
dug by hand. This is
By-
the Woodingdean water well in the UK.
By
and it was
hand?
dug all the way back in 1862. At 603 meters
1862.
down, we arrive at something terrifying.
What?
The deepest vertical drop inside of a cave. If
Oh.
you're unfortunate enough to be in this cave and fall down this hole, the fall would be higher up than falling from the top of the One World Trade Center in New York.
What?
And the fall would take you over 11 seconds before hitting the bottom. Even further down, though,
Wow.
at 700 meters, is where the Chilean miners were trapped at for 69 days back in 2010. 970
Wait.
meters, miners were trapped at the bottom. Even further
Wait.
down, though, at 700 meters, is where the Chilean miners were trapped at for 69 days back in
69
2010.
days.
970 meters down is
Wow.
the deepest hole ever dug that still has an open sky above
Oh.
it, the Bingham Canyon open pit
Bingham
mine
Mine.
in Utah. This pit is so deep that you could place the
Oh
tallest
my
building in the entire
God,
world
that
in the
looks
center
sick.
and still have over 100 more meters to the surface. Much
Wow.
further down at 1,410 meters, though, is where the deepest concert ever held happened by the
Deepest
band
concert?
Agonizer in Finland.
What?
1,642
That is so
meters
random.
down is the depth of the deepest lake on Earth,
Oh.
Lake Baikal in Russia, and 1,857 meters down is the deepest part of the Grand Canyon.
Wow, and the
deepest
Grand
known
Canyon is
cave on
massive.
Earth is located
Deepest
2,197 meters beneath the surface
2.2 kilometers down. Wow.
in Georgia. But the deepest hole that you could actually fall into goes way deeper than even this. All the way down at
what's down here?
3,132 meters is the bottom of the Moab Katsong mine shaft in
Oh.
South Africa. Taking the elevator takes 4.5 minutes to reach the bottom, but if you fell into it from the top, it would take you 25 entire seconds for you to hit the bottom and think about what you've just done. Long enough to receive and miss an entire phone call.
Yeah.
Even further down at 3,600 meters is the deepest point that a multicellular organism has been found alive. This freaky looking worm.
3.6K's
but
down.
Human beings themselves have been even deeper than this.
How far have we been?
4,000
meters.
Is the deepest part of the deepest
Deepest
mine on
mines.
Earth, also located in South Africa. The trip from the surface down to the bottom takes over an hour to complete, and the temperature at the bottom can reach a sweltering 66 degrees Celsius.
Degrees. How do you survive in that?
6,000 meters is the average depth of the ocean.
I mean, you're not going all the time there, so what's 6K's down?
Beneath the ocean floor.
Oceanic crust.
Way down at 8,848 meters is the height of Mount Everest.
Wow.
If it were placed underground instead. 10,994 meters down is the bottom of the Marianas Trench, which is the deepest part of the ocean.
That we know
I already covered the depth of the ocean in another video, but unbelievably, humans have actually dug down significantly deeper than
Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to see what's underneath the water and all that.
even this. For reference about what's next, 11,887 meters is the average altitude that a commercial airliner flies at.
So if it was flying underneath,
12,262 meters is the depth of the Kola Super Deep Borehole,
What's the
project
borehole?
where the Soviet Union attempted to drill all the way through the Earth's crust. They only reached a third of the way
really
there,
succeed
though,
in
because
that.
the temperature at this depth reached 180 degrees Celsius, which was too hot for the drill to continue operating any further. The hole is also only 23 centimeters wide, so luckily you can't accidentally fall into it. If you dropped a quarter down the shaft, though, it would take about 50 seconds before it hit the bottom. Recently, however, this depth has been surpassed by the Z44 Shavio oil and gas well, which is drilled down to a depth of 12,376 meters. That's the equivalent of stacking 15 Burj Khalifas on top of each other, and currently represents the deepest hole that humanity has ever dug. The crust, however, can extend down to 70,000 meters below the Earth's surface, and the planet's center is located 6,371 kilometers down. If the surface of the Earth is Lisbon, Portugal, and the planet's center is Astana, Kazakhstan, then humanity so far has just ventured this tiny, distance. And the planet's center
so if we go from Lisbon to Astana,
then humanity so far has just ventured this.
That's how much we've done.
Distance. If you
that's
enjoyed
nothing.
the video that you just watched.
What? So from Lisbon to Astana, like there's so much distance in that.
Astana, Kazakhstan, then humanity so far has just ventured this.
And we've only done that much! Come on! I know it's hard, obviously, but still, that's just mind-blowing. Oh my, we've only done that much compared to all that. Wow. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you'd like me to do any more of these react videos, because they're actually quite interesting, and I'm enjoying this. Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.